All right, good morning, everyone. All right, good morning, everyone. It's starting a little late, so let me jump right into it. Um, so let's take a look today's at today's economic data. So we have unemployment claims came in worse than expected at 245,000, and Philly Fed manufacturing index came in worse than expected, a lot worse at 31.3. Expectation was negative 31.3. Expectation was negative 19.1. So far, the market seems to be responding negatively to that news. As far as upcoming releases, we have existing home sales, which will be at 10 a.m. Eastern. Then we'll have CB leading index. After this, we'll have natural gas storage. We don't know when this is going to happen, but Treasury Secretary Yellen will speak. Um, this has obviously been scheduled, but doesn't say the exact time. We'll have FOMC member Waller speaking at 12 p.m. Eastern, and we'll have FOMC member Bauman speaking at 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so today's going to be fairly busy. Later in the evening, excuse me, we'll have FOMC member Harker speaking. But the main thing is this: we have two important people speaking. Also in Canada, we have the Bank of Canada's Governor Macklem speaking, which should have some modest impact on our markets, mostly on the Canadian markets. But we have two important U.S. People speaking. Treasury Secretary Yellen would be the most important. FOMC member Waller, of course, would be secondarily important. But also we have FOMC member Bauman. So a lot of news today as we get into the day. So we should see quite a bit of volatility today. All right. 1 second here. Okay, that being said, let's take a look at what stocks were moving yesterday. What was I looking for? All right, so I'll just go down the list. Okay, this one was not that active. Sorry, NVDA was the one I was looking for. All right, NVIDIA started the day off yesterday with a sharp move up and then gradually went up over the rest of the day, reaching target number one. And then after that, had a last minute run and then it sold off. But there was some opportunity there. Next up, we have Microsoft. Volatile at the open, but then gradually gets into a good trend up. This took it almost to target number one. So this was definitely exploitable as well. One of the better performers was Apple, which started off the day volatile, but generally moving up, and then finally gets into a nice trend as it got back into the range that it traded the day before, getting up to just over target number one before flattening out for the day. Amazon was able to have a clean, sharp move at the beginning of the day, although it had a very large pullback and then it jumped back into a trend, basically leading it on to it reached target number one here, got back to target number one, and fell just short of target number two, topping out at 105.12. Target number two was at 105.16. Next up, we got VKTX Viking. Very clean, nice move up, taking Viking to target number two, which was 21.77. This topped at 21.79. Excuse me. Then we have VYNE, which had a pretty solid move in the morning, but after that, fairly choppy and negative, but either way, good move up. Right. Meta was not so good of a mover, but there it is. All right, PCVX, very strong, clear move up, taking it over target number two, which was 46.25, reaching a high of 47.09. And then we have this move up here for Google. After some chop at the beginning of the day, Google fell short of target number one, which was 105.14. Google reached a high of 104.98. Uh, Bill, the sound is on. No, other than that, nothing really. None of the other stocks really did anything that great. So there we go. All right. So let's look at what's moving today. All right. First up, we've got it's like GMDA. I don't. We just looked at it a second ago. It doesn't look like it's moving with enough volume, but let's take a look. All right, so GMDA is moving with enough volume. It's up 10.63%, but honestly, the range of trading is very small. Uh, so I'm going to pass on this one, even though it is moving with the right amount of volume. It's just the price range is so narrow. So probably would not be a good opportunity for trading based on that. All right, next up, we got DRMA, which presently is up 21%, trading 1.5 million shares. That does look interesting enough. So we're going to add that to our radar for this morning. All right, next up, we've got SNSE, which currently is up 10.34% on 1.5 million shares. We'll add that to our radar as well. SNSE. Next up, we've got UIHC, which currently is up 31.6%, 2.6 million shares. Looks interesting, so we'll add that UIHC to our radar. All right, next up we got AUGX, and that is up 85% on 8.5 million shares. Still active right now, so we'll add that to our radar. Next up, we have CNSP, up about 27.8%, 4.7 million shares. Looks interesting, so we'll add that to our radar as well. CNSP. Okay. Tesla is down after earnings. Let's take a look at it. Pretty sharp drop there. Now, whether or not people want to sell or buy at the open, we don't know, but I will have Tesla on the radar for this morning since it has this news. And the last one that I see is WINT, which is currently down 60% on 3 million shares. Looks interesting, so we'll take a look at that at the open. Symbol again is WINT. All right, so those are the stocks that I've found. If you guys have any NASDAQ stocks that are trading 1 million shares or more pre-market, not their average, but their current today's pre-market trading, if they're trading more than 1 million shares and have some volatility, some significant volatility, let me know in the chat and I'll take a look at it. So you folks find any stocks that meet those criteria? Those are all based upon my own calculations, and I share those inside of the coaching room. You folks have any other stocks other than the ones I've already mentioned? Good. Well, in that case, we'll wrap up this session. So, no problem. So, for those of you in the coaching program, I'll see you in the coaching room in about 10 minutes. For everyone else, did I mention AUGX? Yes, I did. For everyone else, be sure to check out our website, fundertrading.com, and learn more about how we fund traders to trade for our account. Other than that, folks, have a great morning, and see you folks tomorrow.